students don't panic because exams are difficult. Yes, usually exams could be stressful, but usually they panic because revision usually starts too late, and usually panic is a sign of poor planning, and it's not about low performance or low ability. Especially when revision is really rushed. You know what happens? Your brain now feels overwhelmed, and you look at all the topics and you don't know where to start. That is what we call now the panic mood comes in. That panic has really nothing to do with intelligence, okay? So it's usually comes from trying to do everything at once. The catch is, as exams approach, usually students try to read just everything, every topic, every line, every note, every PowerPoint, every recorded videos. And now that is which creates all the form of stress and also loss of confidence. My advice is, you see, calm revision starts with basic prioritization and planning. To revise without panic, the good thing is you must accept one important fact. You cannot revise everything deeply. Whenever you revise, try to focus on key topics. What are the key topics? What are the common exam areas? You see, what are your weak points that you need to really read? Depth is important, but however, any reading before exam should focus on the basic, big framework, big structure, the common areas. The problem again is rereading your notes could also increase your panic. So you should be very strategic on what areas you prepare before an exam reaches. When you answer questions, you see what you know and what you don't. So my advice is to avoid panic during exams is very important to plan, to prepare ahead of time, and don't try to revise all day. Revise in a short blocks of study, test yourself, try to get past exam papers so that you read. Such kind of rhythm now will keep your brain so calm, and then revision will not be stressful, exam will not be a panic. Keep in mind, revision should build your confidence. It should not create your panic. Try to identify what is that thing that brings panic to you when or before an exam. Try to simplify, try to prioritize whatever you are reading, try to test yourself, try to speak it out loud. In such a way, you will enjoy your academic journey, you will enjoy your whatever you are really studying. It will not be stressful, it will not be panic, and then you will enjoy academic journeys. And see you in the next video as I will dive into other tips for academic success and academic excellence. In this video, let me talk about exam week and the exam week stuffs in the academic environment. And it's very interesting to think about an exam and what students go through. But my advice in this video is, remember, exam week is not a time to change your lifestyle. It is basically a time to stay just stable, calm, and is about execution of whatever you have been learning. It's not a time of learning everything new. Many students usually treat exam week as a time to learn everything. That is why the problem, again, as I talked in the earlier video, brings about panic. You see, exam week is just for revising, for recalling, testing yourself, and staying very calm. So during exam week, don't do something unique. Keep your routines, wake up early at the same time you've been doing it normally. Some students start to fast and to start to study 24 hours during exam week. But if that is not your lifestyle, your routine, it doesn't really work. It just exposes you to more stress. And especially in exam week, stability helps your brain to perform better. Try to start each day with testing not reading, okay? Begin your day by testing yourself. Do I know this? How was that topic? Am I able to articulate this concept? Am I able to evaluate this concept, to synthesize this knowledge, okay? So in such a way, testing builds now your confidence. Some students try to ask me a question, oh sir, will this point come in exam? You know, this is not the question that you should ask a day before the exam. A day before the exam is where you try to be cool, you try to be calm and prepare your mind to do what you've been learning. And also, you need to sleep very well. That is very important. And don't study until your brain is exhausted, okay? Just try to relax. So what I'm trying to say is, don't change your routine since you are in exam week. Review, prepare for the next day, and go to bed calmly, early, and then show up in exam room on time and try to do whatever you know in a calm, correct, composed fashion. So a good exam week routine usually keeps your mind very clear, very focused. And remember, a clear mind performs better. That is as a hallmark. Thank you. Let's talk about a group study. I know as a student, we usually do study in a group. It's a good thing. Sometimes the problem is group study can either help or can also be damaging to academic performance. You see, so now it really depends. I usually advocate for students to study in a group, but also I warn them the benefits and the challenge. So group study should be structured very well, okay? It is not really automatically effective. You need to curate it very effectively, structured well, because many students assume that learning in a group is just better, you see, but being together does not really mean learning. You may be in a group and maybe you are talking about something, you are you know, you could be doing anything if not actually reading. That is why when you go to a group study, it should not really be to study from afresh. When you go to a group study, it should not really be to study from afresh. Okay, group study should be a place where you revise and where you try to share ideas and to also explain concepts to each other. When questions are not clear, is a place where you try to solve questions together. It's not where learning or study starts. Study should start first individually, then you come to a group to share ideas. You see, the beauty of group study is when you try to teach a concept to your fellow, that is a moment where recall, consolidation, memory retrieval will be so much strengthened. If you are in a group and you're talking about the movies or about any other stuff, then now it will be distracting. It will be a place for gossip, complaining. It will not be helpful. So be keen on what type of a group study team you are in. Is it really helpful? If not, it's time to detach yourself from such a group. But if you are in a vibrant group study team, that is the way to go. That is very important, okay? So what I'm trying to say is group study should not be where you learn a topic for the first time. It should be a place where you refine your understanding, where you share whatever you know, where you try to reflect on some questions. So one of the teaching philosophy talks about mastery learning. So the best way students master some concept is also through a group study. So those of you in school, those of you in university, be in a group. Group study is one of the fantastic things I've seen students being successful when they read in a group. But make sure you are in the right group. You are in a good team of students, and make sure you utilize that time. You see, nowadays technology is to the students. You can schedule Zoom meeting, Google Meet meeting, even in the middle of the night. You don't need to come to school. So you can have those discussions from wherever you are. Imagine, in this time, learning should be very, very interesting. See you and thank you for listening. Failure is not an end. There is always a second chance. If you need academic support, I'll say it. In the previous videos, we talked about reading style, group study, exams. But the actual thing, sometimes students also fail in exam, and it will be very hurting. So many students feel or take it so personal when they fail in exam. But remember, failing an exam is not a death sentence. Just failing an exam is just a feedback. It's not a verdict. An exam result does not define your intelligence. Please don't get yourself low, don't be mad. Just an exam result or failure tells you one thing: your preparation didn't match your exam. That is the only thing. And that is something that can be fixed. So you don't react emotionally. I've seen some students crying, some students feeling emotionally low after failing an exam. It's okay. You have failed the exam, it's fine. There is also another chance. After failing, many students usually panic. They go low, they have bad reactions, they will take time to recover. Okay? But that is natural, but I'm giving a hope. There is always a second chance. Just ask yourself, just one question: what went wrong? Why did I fail that exam? How was my preparation? How was my revision? Have I given a due emphasis to the subject matter? Just ask those questions. Sit down and reflect. Where are those areas of improvement? If you try to identify those areas of improvement, and if you work on them, the next exam is for you. So the big issue is not about regretting and sitting and living, dwelling on that regret. Just move on, go on. There's another chance. You have failed this exam. Maybe the problem is really your preparation. Maybe you have not been focused in reading. Maybe you are busy. You've been dealing with many stuffs. You have not focused. You've been just sitting in the library for long hours, highlighting the handouts, listening the lecture for hours, but you are not focusing. Just maybe correct that one. Challenge how you study, how you revise, and how you plan. Again, ask for help. Talk to your teacher, talk to your lecturers, okay? And try to work on your mistakes. Once you correct those mistakes, I tell you, when you sit for the next exam, there is an improvement. Woke up in early morning saying, I can do it. This is a new day. I will read, I'll change my preparation, and I'll be the best in the classroom. Have that commitment, because failure is not an end. It is just a redirection. And some of the best students I know have failed at some point, and it's very common and very natural. But what separated them was not intelligence, but was how they responded to that failure. So recovery is not really a miracle. Recovery from failure is through commitment, through reflection, and through correcting the past mistakes. If you need academic support, I'll say it again, just check the link in my bio. I'm available to provide with you a structured academic consultation support. See you.